Hello everyone! Today's video I want to talk about silhouettes and why they're so important for character design. So the first question we want to ask here is why we use silhouettes. There's two reasons. One of them is to make your character more recognizable. For example, I'm sure you know Pokemon, I'm sure you know Pikachu, and if you notice Pokemon designs in general, they're always very recognizable. So if we see them just as a silhouette, you can know right away that this is Pikachu. The same thing goes for example, Batman. Batman has a very distinct silhouette with that mask with the ears, so once you see that, you'll know that it is Batman. Now there's another reason why I'm showing you this picture. This is for the second reason of why we use silhouettes. So sometimes we already have our character designed, we already know how it looks like, and when we're drawing them, sometimes we want to use silhouettes to be sure that we have a good pose, a pose that is easily seen. So for example, this is a very good image because Batman does wear a cape, right? Let's say that in this silhouette, so in this case the character is already in silhouette, so let's say that Batman was just like this, right? So I'm going to just draw on top of this. So okay, in our drawing his cape is going to the side, right? But let's imagine that they decided to do his cape as always, so just hanging here and going down with no wind blowing on it whatsoever. So in this case, as you can see, you cannot really see his pose as much, right? See the difference? So we have this here and you don't really see a lot of the pose. There's not a lot happening right here. I mean, I can still see that this is probably Batman because of the mask here, right? But the pose doesn't have as much impact as it has right here. So this is the second reason we sometimes use silhouettes. Of course, you don't always need to have a pose with a lot of impact. You're just drawing for fun, you're just doing something very normal, you don't want to cause a lot of impact, but in some scenes sometimes you want to do that. You want for the character or for the piece to have quite a lot of impact, so this is something to have into account. So these are the two reasons you're using the silhouette, or you'll want to use the silhouette. So let's see a few more examples here. So I have here an image of Jean. Now let's put a silhouette on top of her. So the first thing that I notice is, for example, maybe her silhouette is not as easily recognizable. For me, it's honestly okay. For example, I think it's not mostly because of the head. So if I do take out the head, so as you can see she has this hair here, she would be more recognizable. So maybe I will want to design her without the head, or maybe with a smaller head. I really like her design, but for example, if I do want her to be recognizable just for her silhouette, maybe this wouldn't be the way to go about it. But on the other hand, as you can see, I kind of have here a nice balance of big and small shapes. So we have the big head here, right? We have big hair that you can't really see on the silhouette, the body, and then we have very small hands and legs. So this balance between shapes and weight of the shapes in your characters is something to pay attention to, and the silhouette can really help you recognize that if you feel that there's a good balance or not. Now let's see another one. I have here Nevla, my drow elf, and again I feel like we have a lot of thin shapes, bigger and longer shapes. Now let's see a silhouette of him. So from here I feel that he's a bit more recognizable because there's some more space between those shapes, so we can see very clearly here there's a head, some hair, a thin neck, and then we have his clothes, right? They are bigger, they are very oversized, and then we have his limbs. So we have here the legs very thin and his hand. So every shape here is very recognizable even in the silhouette. So if you already knew my characters and if you've seen a silhouette of a character of mine, you would be able to recognize Nevlan. Another thing I want to talk about here is, for example, the pose. The pose here is very easily recognizable. It's not a very impactful pose, but you can clearly see what he's doing. He has one arm to the side and another one pointing out. You can very clearly see both legs as well. They're not together because, for example, let's say, let me hide this, let me copy this silhouette, and let's say that I drew the legs close together. It wouldn't have the same impact. Let's see here, let's move this. So as you see here, now it's everything joined together. It's not as interesting as seeing this white space between both legs. So these things will help you as you're creating your own character. They really help you build it. So sometimes you can even start building your character with a silhouette instead of going with just lines. Well, I have a head, I have a body. You can start and use a silhouette. So you have the head. Next I'm going down here, I have a body. There we go. Let's say his arms are going out. There we go. Hey, I'm partying. I don't know, I'm just doing some random things here. Maybe he's jumping even. There we go. See, you can start your pose with the silhouette right away, and then you can just take some things out, add more things according to how you feel the silhouette is. If you feel that the silhouette is not really readable, then you can change it. Using a silhouette is always very good to build new characters. Now let's see here, I have here this character. Let's put a silhouette on top of her. So I think that everything is actually quite well combined, but I don't know, let's say maybe we can make everything even better. For example, so I'm going to move this to the side and I'm going to take a look at everything here. So for example, the first thing I see here is that maybe I can exaggerate this pose even more. And exaggeration is always key to when drawing a character and drawing poses for them. So why not just go wide with his arm as well? Let's go wide with it. Okay, now I can fix here, paint here my silhouette. There we go. Maybe here the shoulder is too wide now. There we go. I can make the sleeves go a bit bigger. So let's try seeing if we want the sleeves bigger. I don't think we won't, because that way we have a bit less white space. So let's quit on that idea there. There we go. Maybe here, for example, I can create some more white space like this. Of course, this all depends on your style as well, what kind of style you have. Now for the hair, maybe I want something a bit different for the hair. I don't really like the silhouette that we get here, so let's just erase this. I think I definitely still want like the hair going up, but instead of having the hair like this, I want to have it in circles. Alright, the ears could also go a bit bigger here. Right, so see, we now have something a little bit different. So this is the kind of work you could do when creating a new character. Just use a silhouette and then work from there. So now I could go over here, add some transparency, and now I can draw a sketch of the character. So I still have here this one as reference, so I know what kind of shapes I use for her. There we go. Now of course this is just a sketch, so you can open just a document or your sketchbook and do a lot of silhouettes of different characters. Then you pick one that you think is more interesting and work from there. Do like this. You have the silhouette, you then we'll work on that silhouette and do a simple sketch, a basic sketch of that silhouette, and work from there. I hope this helped you. I hope that using silhouettes will help you a little bit better to build up your own characters. And as always, like and subscribe if you like this video so you can see more of this, and don't forget, keep on drawing.